What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new AB video, and today we'll be showing you the best game modes and in general just a few couple tips for Gene. And what is this, like our 5th guide video? I literally lost count, but I will be linking the playlist to our guides in the description down below, so make sure that you go ahead and watch those because I got a bunch of them, and especially the Jesse one, that was really fun making. So yeah, anyway guys, let's get right into the best game modes for my boy Gene. Where is he? Come on. Here we go. Actually guys, before we did that, I did just want to read out his stat sheet really quick. So he is a support mythic brawler that uses his magic lamp to shoot a splitting projectile. His super is a magical hand that grabs and pulls enemy close. He's got the lamp blowout gadget, as well as the magic puffs and spirit slap star powers. One is damage, one is heal, and the gadget pushes enemies back. He is also a 2 out of 5 offense, a 2 out of 5 defense, and a 5 out of 5 utility. And like I said, his super is Magic Hand. It is a long-ranged magical attack from his lamp, and if it hits an enemy, they get pulled directly to Gene's location. He also has 5,400 HP and a normal movement speed. As for his attack, Smoke Blast, he shoots a solid ball of magic smoke from his lamp, and if it doesn't hit a target, it splits up and spreads the damage in a cone. So it has 1,400 damage, a very long range, and a slow reload. So pretty interesting stat sheet. And now let's move on to the game mode tier list. So for his worst mode, it is going to be Heist. Pretty self-explanatory. He's basically useless. He doesn't do damage. He can't counter tanks. He's only effective against throwers, and he's just in general a terrible choice. I would never recommend him, and as you can see in the gameplay, I'm literally just trolling. So yeah, let's get into his next mode. So his second worst mode is not even a bad mode for him. It's actually going to end up being Solo Showdown. Might be a bit surprising, but he's not the best because, once again, he doesn't do a lot of damage. He's more of a control brawler, and he can't really, it's hard to break boxes with Gene, but he's not that great. However, you can get really good kills with him, so that's pretty much the one thing he has going for him, is that he can get kills, but he's not the best in general, and you can play him, but not on every single map, so yeah. So and next up, we have Bounty in the A- tier. Now, I know some of you are going to disagree with that, but I don't think Bounty's really good for him, but the one thing that's bad for him is the maps here, and he's really good at getting kills. He has a bunch of control. He can literally change the game, and he can poke at enemies. He can easily counter Brock. He can easily counter Piper. He can kill throwers. He's really good, but he's basically only good on like 1 or 2 maps. He's only really good on 1 or 2 maps. You can definitely use him in the other maps, but I don't think he's amazing on every single map, which is probably the one thing that's like holding him back. If there were other maps that were more open without as many bushes, stuff like that, then he would definitely be in the A tier, maybe even the S tier, but I'm gonna leave him in the A- tier. Not quite able to get to the A tier, but he's a very solid choice, and you can't go wrong if you play him in Bounty. Just above Bounty, we do have Solo's counterpart. We have Duo Showdown, and I said he's really bad. He's not the best in solos, but for duos, he's crazy for duos. He's really good because he has a ton of range. You can really keep your team alive by poking at enemies, getting them back from your own team, and if you get a kill on the other team, one of the other teams, it's gonna make that team pretty much useless, because then it's gonna be like a 1v2 for that team. So he's really good for that, and you do have that Magic Puff star power. It's really solid because you can just heal up your teammate as you're going for other teams. And once again, a lot of showdown maps right now are very open, so you can rely on your teammate to make up for that lack of damage, and he's just really good for keeping enemies away, like I said, and he can get individual kills. So that's probably why he's going to be staying in the A tier. I mean, he's not going to be S tier because he's not the best option for duos, I would say. He's actually like really good for duos, but I think there are a few more choices, and he's not like the best at close range, so that's why I'm going to leave him in the A tier. And up next, also in the A tier, we do have Siege, and Gene, he's amazing at Siege. He's always used in competitive. I could have put him in the S tier if I'm being honest, and it's just because he has so much range and he can counter throwers. Like, you kill all the throwers, almost every single match is going to have a thrower, unless it's like the really open map there. I forgot what it's called. And he can also, another thing that he's really good at is, like I said, in general, getting kills. Or you can literally, like, if you don't have a teammate around, you can literally pull the enemy into your Ike turret, and the Ike will help you finish off the enemy. It's even better if you can drag the enemy into a bolt so that you can kill the enemy and get a bolt at the same time. That's another thing that makes him really good. And even on defense, he's amazing because he can drag the robot all the way from your Ike turret to back to the like pit, like the very tip top of the range for the Ike turret. So you almost have double the time to defend. So he's really solid in siege, but I would definitely recommend that you coordinate with your team because you do need a solid team comp for that. So he's really good in siege, but I would probably leave him in the A tier because some maps, like I said, are close range, and he also lacks a bit of damage. So that's why I'm going to keep him in the A. Guys, next up we do have Brawl Ball in the A tier, and I put him in the A tier because he is so good at control, and Brawl Ball is all about control. You keep all your enemies from healing. He's so good for it, and he's even a wall break. He's a great mid for this. Like if you need a mid and the map is really open, just pick Gene. He will get the job done. He's great at getting kills, very good in open maps. And like I said, he's also very good for synergizing with tanks, so if you need to keep your tank from dying, definitely pick Gene, get that star power in, and he's a very solid choice. Additionally, he's also really good at breaking walls. I think I mentioned this, if not, I just mentioned it again. So he's great at breaking walls, and he can also do like this little trick shot. I'll put a clip of it up on the screen here. I'm not sure how to explain it, but you'll see what I mean. And so like I said, he's very good in Brawl Ball. Definitely pick him, and I didn't really want to put him in the S tier. I was really contemplating because he's one of the best Brawl Ball brawlers right now, but he's not the best on open maps, like I keep saying. That's literally the one thing that keeps Gene back, is the walls and the bushes. But if the map is open, definitely pick him. And yeah, that is the A tier, and let's move on to his best mode. So his best mode is actually going to be Gem Grab. As you can see in the gameplay, he is such a good Gem Grab brawler, arguably the best right now. Arguably, not, I didn't say he was the best, but arguably, because he has insane range. He's probably the best or the second best gem carrying brawler, so definitely make him gem carry if he is in your team comp. And the reason I put him here is because he's really good at poking at different lanes. As you can see, I can literally hit everyone in every single lane, and you just help your teammates out so much. And like the main, well, not really the main thing, but one of the biggest things about him is that he's so good because his super, you can literally pull the other gem carrier, and if you do that, you can take all the enemy's gems, and it's so impactful. You can literally win a game just by one single pull, which is what makes Gene such a great brawler. But we'll talk about that more in a few minutes. So like I said, he's really good in gem grab, and his super also helps him win lanes. So like if, for example, you're laning against a penny, you can probably yank the penny and just take him out really quickly. So that's why he's going to be in the S tier. Now guys, I wanted to talk a bit about a few basic tips. So the first one I have for you guys is his basic attack. Now Gene, he's not a really bursty brawler, and he's not a high damage dealing brawler, but consistency is how you want to play Gene. Be very consistent, especially with his range, because you can pretty much poke at every single brawler and just bug them, with the exception of a few more brawlers because they probably outrange you. So make sure that you are doing that. Keep the enemies back and stop them from healing. And if you can prevent their whole team from healing up, that will be insane. Especially with that range, you can just like annoy everyone. That's what your job is basically. But guys, remember that you do also have to heal when you're doing this. So like, don't just be annoying everyone and not healing, because then you're just gonna end up dying. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Remember to go for individual kills. You can also burst down low HP brawlers. So if you pull like a Barley, you can probably 3-tap him. And for Gene's best quality, his super, this is what makes Gene a good brawler. And he is amazing for breaking walls, saving teammates, stealing a ball, getting kills, all of this. It can literally change the game. It is what you want to be utilizing when you play Gene. So with that said, you have to be able to aim all of your supers, unless guys, there is one little thing that can help you do it. It is going to be called auto aim, and it might be a bit shocking, but auto aim is actually an actual strategy that you use. And here's the thing: if you're to auto aim and you move in the same direction of your enemy, you will land the aim every single time. So if, for example, if this penny is moving in the left and then you auto aim your pull at left in the left direction while you're moving in the left direction, it's kind of confusing, but it will actually land every single time. Hopefully I did a decent description there. And there is one exception though, and that is if they're at the very tip of your super, you're actually not going to be able to grab them because they're going to be too far away. But if they're in mid-range, if they're in close range, then you can auto aim while moving in the same direction as them. It will literally land every single time. It's a great tip, and yeah, that's just like one thing that's really important, and you have to be able to know that. And another tip is that you have to make sure that you're pulling when you have ammo and when you're healed up. That's also very important. If you pull when you're about to die and if you pull when you have no ammo, it's not going to go well for you guys. Especially if you're gem carrying, you don't want to be able to do that. And make sure that, and also remember that you don't actually have to use your super every single time you get it. You can save it and then you can use it later on, because remember, like, there's a potential of you dying. So it's kind of a mouthful to explain a super, but hopefully you guys got a gist of what I'm talking about. And yeah, let's move on. So I think I mentioned this a lot, but as for his playstyle, you want to make sure that you are playing a little aggressive, because you can take out squishy brawlers, but not too aggressive because you are all about control and you're all about range. So make sure that you're playing pretty passive, guys. And remember, consistency, like I said, is your strength. So make sure that you're staying very consistent. And as for your star power, you want to make sure that you are using magic puffs in every single 3v3 mode, unless you're playing with randoms, then you might want to consider using Spirit Slap, because your randoms, they probably won't know you have magic puffs. So it's completely up to you, but I would almost always recommend using magic puffs, especially if you're in a team. Just always use it, except for solos as well, because if you played in solos, what's it gonna do? Heal. You can't even heal yourself. So make sure you're using the Spirit Slap in solos as well. And the reason I said that you want to use this, because the healing is actually really impactful. It's pretty underrated, actually. A lot of people don't know that it actually does a ton of healing. It's like 400 per second. It's really strong, and maybe one of the best star powers in the game, actually. So make sure that you're using that. And if you do choose it, make sure that you are also spreading the healing around. Don't just like stay away from your teammates, because that's not what you want to be doing. Just, yeah, look for your teammates. If they're low health, go up to them and heal them, but don't pile up. Like, don't hug them, because then you're probably gonna end up dying. Both of you are gonna end up dying. So yeah, that's a star power, and I guess that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I guess we can head into the outro now. So guys, that is going to wrap up our Gene guide video. I really hope you learned something new and enjoyed. Hopefully my explaining wasn't too bad, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. And make sure that you are definitely using Gene and Gem Grab. That's all I'm gonna say. He is a superb brawler, and yeah, hopefully you guys learned something. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, stay ricey, and we'll see you next time.